Hello everyone. Do you know who was the other field marshal other than Sam Manekshaw, or the first Indian officer to command a battalion or a brigade, or the first commander-in-chief of our coveted Indian army? It was Field Marshal Kodandera Madappa Cariappa. He was the first commander-in-chief of the Indian army. He led the Indian forces on the Western Front during the Indo-Pak War of 1947 and was appointed the first commander-in-chief in 1949. His distinguished military career spanned almost 3 decades. Cariappa was born on 20th January 1899 in Madikeri, Kodagu, and he joined the British Indian Army shortly after the end of World War I and was commissioned as a temporary first lieutenant into the 2x88 Carnatic Infantry. He was transferred between multiple regiments before he was finally posted to the 1x7th Rajput Regiment. He was also the first officer to attend the staff course at Quetta. He served in various staff capacities at various unit and command headquarters and also at General Headquarters New Delhi. Before taking over as the Commander-in-Chief, he served as the army commanders in the Eastern and the Western commands. Like I said, Cariappa was born on 28th January 1899 in the Coorg province to a family of farmers belonging to the Kodagu clan. His father Madappa worked with the revenue department. Cariappa was the second child in the family of 4 sons and 2 daughters. He was known as Chimma to his relatives. After completing his education in Central High School at Madikeri in 1917, he attended Presidency College at Chennai to pursue his education there. During college, he learned that the Indians were being recruited into the army and this was his dream. He applied, and of the 70 applicants, Cariappa was one of the 42 who were finally granted admission into the Daly Cadet College, Indore. He scored well in all the aspects during his training and was 7th in the course. Cariappa graduated on 1st January 1919 and was granted the temporary commission. After that, a permanent commission was granted on 9th September 1922 with effect from 17 July 1920. This was basically done because he was an Indian officer and he was made junior to the other officers who graduated from Royal Military College, Sandhurst, on the 16th of July 1920. He was promoted to lieutenant on 17 July 1921 after his training and posted to the 37th Prince of Wales' own Togras in June 1922. In 1923 June, Cariappa was finally transferred to the 1st/7 Rajput and that became his permanent regimental home. In 1925, Cariappa went on a world tour to Europe as well as United States, Japan and China. He met a large number of soldiers and civilians in various nations. This tour was very educated for him and got him a nickname Kipper. This tour also served him in good stead for his staff course studies, his other staff appointments, and also later on when he was commanding battalion and a brigade. In 1927, Cariappa was promoted to the rank of captain, but the appointment was not officially gazetted until 1931, and this was basically because of discrimination of the Indian officers to keep them junior to the other British officers. Later, Cariappa was appointed as the Deputy Assistant Quartermaster General at the headquarters Peshawar district in 1931. This experience again held him in very good stead, and also his coaching at Royal United Services Institute in 1937 and the courses he attended at Small Arms School and the Royal School of Artillery helped him get through the Quetta Staff College entrance exam. He was the first Indian officer to attend the staff course at Quetta. After that, he rendered regimental service, and in March 1936, he was appointed as the staff captain of the Deccan area. In 1938, Cariappa was promoted to the rank of a major and was appointed as the Deputy Assistant Adjutant and Quartermaster General. Then came the Second World War, and in 1939, the Scene Committee was set up to examine the option for the Indianization of the Indian Army's officer ranks. As Cariappa was one of the most senior Indian officers with about 19 years of service, the committee held several discussions with him. He expressed his displeasure at the treatment of the Indian officers in the army. He also stressed that the officers should be given proper staff appointments at higher headquarters and not be made to do regimental service and be moved around without any stability. After the World War II began, Cariappa was posted as the Brigade Major of the 20th Indian Brigade stationed at Dera Jhat. Later, he was appointed as the DAQMG of the 10th Indian Division, which was stationed in Iraq. He also earned a mention in dispatch during this tenure and did very well under William Slim in the 10th Infantry Division. He served in Iraq, Iran and Syria between 1941 to 42, and then in Burma in 43-44, and back in India. He was posted as the second in command of the newly raised 7th Rajput Machine Gun Battalion at Fatehgarh. Later, he was promoted as an acting Lieutenant Colonel and was appointed as the commanding officer of the same battalion. Later on, he was promoted to the rank of a Lieutenant Colonel and he commanded the same battalion, thus making him the first Indian officer to command a battalion. Later, the unit was rechristened as the 52nd Rajput and put under the 43rd Indian Armored Division. Within a few months, the unit observed two transformations and two moves. First, the battalion's machine guns were replaced with tanks in order to convert it into an armored regiment, but soon the battalion was reverted back to infantry and redesignated as the 17th by 7th Rajputs and was reverted to infantry and redesignated as 17 by 7th Rajputs and moved to Secunderabad. During this period, there was unrest in the regiment and Cariappa handled this unrest very well and calmed down the troops and caught on to his daily work of commanding at Secunderabad. On 1st April 1943, he was appointed as the Assistant Quartermaster General in the headquarters of Eastern Command. Though Cariappa wished to serve in combat, the chance did not favor him, and in August 1943, when the Southeast Asian Command was formed and the 14th Army was placed under it, Cariappa volunteered for active service in the war, but he was again posted as the AQMG of the 26th Infantry Division stationed at Batidwang in Burma. Here again he had confrontations with the Japanese, but then he missed out on a lot of action and Cariappa was awarded the Order of the British Empire in June 1945. On 1st November 1944, Cariappa was promoted to the acting rank of a brigadier, but was not given the command of a brigade as expected. Instead, he became a member of a reorganization committee. Though Cariappa was not happy with the appointment initially and protested to the military secretary, but the experience held him in good stead when he was posted in the Eastern and the Western commands, and later when he took over as the first Commander-in-Chief. After the war, when Cariappa was promoted as a brigadier and made to fully attain the rank, so finally in November he was made the commander of the Banu Frontier Brigade in Waziristan, and during this time Colonel Ayub Khan, later Field Marshal and President of Pakistan, served under him. Also, he is known for his good handling of the Indian National Army's prisoners, and when he visited these camps, he was considerate towards them and improved their conditions and also gave him their respect and due. On 30th July 1947, Cariappa was promoted to the rank of a Major General, thus becoming one of the first Indians to be promoted to this rank in a combat arm of the Indian Army, along with Brigadiers Muhammad Akbar Khan and Maharaja Shri Rajendra Singh Ji Jadeja. In November 47, he was promoted to the rank of Lieutenant General and was appointed as the Eastern Army Commander. In January 48, owing to the worsening situation in Kashmir, he was called back to the capital and appointed as the GOC-in-C Delhi and East Punjab Command. After taking over this command, he immediately renamed it as the Western Command and moved its headquarters to Jammu. He subsequently raised a corps under Lieutenant General Sri Nagesh. At Udhampur, he appointed Lieutenant General K.S. Thimaiya as the GOC Jammu and Kashmir Force and Atma Singh as the GOC Jammu Division. He was instrumental in launching subsequent attacks as part of Operation Kipper, Operation Easy and Bison to capture Naushera, Jangar, Poonch, Chozila and Kargil areas. And as the Chief of Army Staff during that period, he was quite into the decision making and fully into the operations and very instrumental in pushing back the Mujahids and also the regular Pakistan Army forces back to their own territory and quelling the war of 1947-48. Later, when Lieutenant General Sir Roy Butcher's appointment as the CNC of the Indian Army was about to expire in 1949, it was decided to replace him as an Indian, and Cariappa, Sri Nagesh and Nathu Singh were the contenders for the post. Though Sri Nagesh was 6 months older than Cariappa, he had not served as long as Cariappa, and Nathu Singh had served 2.5 years lesser than Cariappa. Though the interim government's Defence Minister Baldev Singh was not keen on getting Cariappa as the CNC, but when Sri Nagesh and Nathu Singh both declined, Cariappa took over as the first Indian Commander-in-Chief of the Indian Army. Cariappa was married in March 1937 in Secunderabad to Muthu Machaiya, and they were initially quite a happy couple, but due to ideological differences and an age difference of 17 years, their marriage broke down in September 45 and they separated out without a formal divorce. They had a son and a daughter, and their son, K.C. Cariappa, or they lovingly called him Nandar, joined the Indian Air Force and rose to the rank of Air Marshal, and His daughter Nalini was born on 23rd February 1948. So, like you all have seen, Cariappa's alliance with the Indian Army was spread over a period of 3 decades, where he had a broad experience of staff and command work. And after his retirement in 1953, he served as the Indian High Commissioner to Australia and New Zealand. And also, he was into ex-serviceman welfare and founded the Indian Ex-Servicemen's League in 1964. He was also instrumental in setting up the Directorate of Resettlement later on, and also an inter-service organization under the Department of Ex-Servicemen Welfare in the Ministry of Defence that looked after various issues surrounding the resettlement of retired soldiers, especially those who retire young. For his efforts in reorganization of the armed forces in many countries, he was awarded the Legion of Merit in the degree of Chief Command by the American President Harry S. Truman. Cariappa also tried his luck in politics after a lot of persuasion from many friends and admirers. He contested the 1971 Lok Sabha poll from Mumbai North East but came third. Finally, as a mark of recognition for the commendable service rendered by him to the nation, the Government of India conferred the rank of Field Marshal to Cariappa on 28th April 1986 at a special investiture ceremony held at the Rashtrapati Bhavan. After that, his health started deteriorating in 1991 and he suffered from many diseases and he died in his sleep on 15th May 1993 at the Bangalore Command Hospital, where he was receiving treatment for a few years. So, I have just briefly brought out the illustrious career of Field Marshal Cariappa, who was the Field Marshal other than Sam Manekshaw and also had many firsts to his name. I will request you to keep subscribing to this channel and listening to the various snippets about our armed forces that I present to you, and also if you feel that some other topic can be of use to you and I can research for it, please give it in the comment sections. Jai Hind.